What's going on, gamers? Yeah, we got some interesting news here about Forza and the future of Forza Horizon 6 and how huge that's going to be, and how Microsoft needs this. So we see right here, Forza Horizon 5 PS5 port already sold 5 million copies. Here's the thing, PlayStation has a huge European base, all right? And Europeans love their hot rods and their cars. You guys know that. That's why GT, Japan loves it too. That's why GT series, you look at it heading towards 17 million, not series, but the last Gran Turismo, it still sells insane, like literally the best-selling game, and it's always been like that historically for PlayStation. So you putting this on the PlayStation base is a gold mine, and this is going to work very well for Microsoft as a publisher because they can't get the numbers they want on Xbox. They now found an opening here on PlayStation where it's like, okay, this is huge. Like, I can get 5 million sales again. Like, you know what that used to feel like when Xbox games could do that back then? And not only that, you can make Forza Horizon 5 for Switch 2 and then end up working on 6 over time, because obviously that's not going to be done. You got to work on the PlayStation version, because that's the primo version with the Pro. So with 5 million sold, they secured 300 million in additional sales for Xbox. This is the vision that I know Satya likes to see. Okay, there we go. That's what I want to see there. Having everything everywhere and on Game Pass and still able to make 300 million on another platform. That would have been something that would have been significant if they still would have had a solid hardware sales track record, like at least selling 5-6 million consoles a year, you know, something like that. If you were at least able to do that last year and this year, you would have been in a much better state in keeping something like that going. I think that was the vision that I think Phil Spencer would have wanted to happen. But hey, it's all about putting on that t-shirt now, you know what I mean? And realizing it's business, not console warring, because we can't do that anymore. But I'm going to make it to where, you know, war never ends. It's going to be a publishing war. So Forza Horizon 5 selling 5 million on PlayStation is huge. This just shows you how much people love this type of style of racing. I mean, look at Mario Kart, look at other games. They don't want something too serious unless it's done high quality like Gran Turismo, and there's a liking to that apparently because it dominates everything. So, and I don't know if you guys knew, but they've been putting this on sale too, and there's been good sales, and it's working. This is what I mean. Make it available and affordable to people. Who cares if you're not getting the full profit? If you could get 5 million and 60% of that is on sales rather than getting 2 million fully only on sale, you don't know what you're doing, because now you have 5 million more people and they can actually go into your shop and do all that. You got a bigger base and they could be looking forward to Forza Horizon 6. You got to see like how this goes in the long term instead of thinking about short term greedy profit. And that's the problem with a lot of stuff today, is that these corporations, more than ever, you see them chasing all this stuff, all this goose chase stuff for this immediate instant gratification, but they're not playing the long term correctly and intelligently. So a lot of people, they blow everything for something short term and then they have nothing long term. Just saying, that's not what you want to do. It's all about end game. Ocelot here says, I happily contributed during the Christmas sale. We're going to talk about Forza Horizon 6 soon too, and about how that's going to be massive because of the success you see right here. More reason for Microsoft to ditch Xbox and release on PlayStation and PC. Imagine if Nintendo stopped faffing on with consoles, their games would reach eye-popping sales, but they don't need to do that because they're successful. Like that's a totally different comparison. I get what you're trying to say, but it's not going to work, man. But they love control, and that's losing them millions or billions a year. Mario Kart 8 and World on PS5 and PC, what sells with a hit? I know what he means, but that's not going to happen. That's not the way the game works. You don't want to kill exclusive identity. This comment makes absolute zero sense. Nintendo is never leaving the console industry as a manufacturer. They have the second highest selling system of all time and the highest selling individual IPs that you can't even get going multi-platform on all consoles plus theirs. It's like, nah, bro, you ain't playing, you don't know about that game. So that's like telling Apple, oh, Apple will get more, whatchamacallit, if they opened up their stuff to all these other people. It's like, what are you talking about? No, bro, that's not how the game works. The PlayStation 5 won't even touch Switch 1 sales, so why would Nintendo ever entertain the idea to do this? No, you only do that because you have to. But if you can sustain standing on your own 2 feet and dominating the whole world, why the hell would you change that? You wouldn't. Mario Kart 8 sold 70 million units on the Switch. This is what I mean. That is eye-popping sales. Absolutely bonkers. Only GTA and something else can do those numbers, and that has to be on like multiple generations of consoles. You're going on about. If anything, Sony wants that for their games that they never get. You know, some of them did, like Spider-Man. I mean, it did like 27 million, but that's what I mean. Dude, if Microsoft was getting 10, 15, 20 million sales and they had exclusive identity, boy, none of this would be going on. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, they just don't understand the game. So they say that this only comes from people who just don't understand that point of view. It's not about whether you say, oh, but what's wrong with everybody getting their games? That's not the point. It's like I said before, if you kill all competition, you literally make everything null and void. Like you're just going to make it very bland and mundane. We got to this position because everybody played this game since the 90s all the way up to like the late 2020s. That means the whole majority of it is based on that. And it still is, with NVIDIA being where they are, #1 in the world. NVIDIA only, Apple only, Microsoft Windows only, right? Trying to monopolize everything, trying to close off everything. You can't even go to Best Buy and get anything but Windows. You see what I'm saying? Google, YouTube only. Use Google engine only. Though there's options, but you get what I mean. It's because they get anti-consumer. AMD stuff only. Intel only used to be a thing. When you think about all these brands back in the days, it's because it was like that. Nike, I've said this before. To ask somebody to kill exclusive identity when they're at peak is absolutely low IQ behavior. So it's not about whether they're leaving billions on the table. They're not selling out, and I respect that. They're loyal to the game, and they ain't changing. Yeah. Well, there's something big about that. When you look at that sun, it don't change. You see what I mean? It's not a shapeshifter. They're staying true, and they're staying at the top. No, bro. Okay, so getting back to Forza Horizon 6. Forza Horizon 6 is going to be massive, guys. I think this can sell 10 million copies on Steam, PlayStation, and whatever's left on Xbox. And it could be able to do it without needing to go on deep sales. Like, I think it has the potential to move Juggernaut sales. Like, I think eventually it'll sell like a couple million on Steam when it launches. And then when they got the PlayStation 5 version drop with the PS5 Pro and all that, saying that's ready and optimized, because they got to work on multiple versions. That's the thing that I don't think people think too. I'm telling you right now, next year Forza Horizon could potentially get this faster than that. There's a possibility. Like, and it's straight up next gen too. So you guys gonna have to let me know what you think about that. I think when it comes to that too, the setting in Forza Horizon 6 is very attractive. Like going to Japan, being able to explore Japan in that sense, because you know that was always a top racing scene. I don't know if we got some Initial D lovers up in this video, but hey man, that's my anime right there. But there used to be all types of nighttime racing and Fast and Furious aspects going on in Japan back in the 90s before it was over here. You know what I mean? It was a huge thing. And going over there, it's a thing. Like, and we know Asians are good at driving when it comes to that. You've seen it in certain videos as well, too. Europeans love their cars, too. And they used to have Eurobeat team-ups all the time back then. It was actually pretty cool. So I think this game has huge potential, considering, too, like I said, the PlayStation base is going to be its hugest base. I mean, you got those Europeans that love those cars, like I said, and then PlayStation dominates Europe. We see that. Nintendo does well there, too, but not like PlayStation. So when it comes to racing gaming, yeah, PlayStation is the platform. The way I see it, most racing gamers prefer playing on PlayStation. Yeah, it has been so since PS1. For real though, as I said before, that Forza Horizon 5 would do well on PS5, so I was right. Racing games have primarily been an arcade PC endeavor in terms of popularity. I mean, when you talk about like, if you want to go to stuff like Assetto Corsa, those type of games too, there is a market on PC too with mods and stuff. I'm not saying that, but we mean like historically, when you look at the highest peak of sales, Gran Turismo is there. Back in the days, PS1, PS2, PS3, if you look at racing games on there, it's massive. PC has had a growing like custom market with games that you wouldn't even think exist. So I'm not saying it's not going to do well on PC. That's what I said. But I'm saying when you think about PlayStation, I mean, look at that. It already sold 5 million on PlayStation. That right here is why Xbox and PlayStation are going third party. Way too much money to leave behind. Well, Sony, yeah, they're kind of a hybrid. That's the way that kind of works. But yeah, this is huge. Congratulations. And like I said, Forza Horizon 6 is going to be massive. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Keep racing.